sure about it?
Bueno, Colonel, as soon as possible, I said.
Major thing out of business. Kaput.
Well, we can't move. The guy just started digging another tunnel.
Another one?
Well, this one goes on top of the others. They needed an overpass.
Well, tell him to forget. He'll come up with something, everything goes. Tunnels, radio, contacts in town, even LeBeau's mushrooms under the rec hall.
Never, I'll kill first. I suppose when we get to the new stalagmite, we might get organized again.
Well, I could carry a few radio parts along.
How do you carry a tunnel?
It's terrible. Wait a minute. Hold it. You guys throwing the towel awful fast. There must be a way to keep from building that refinery here.
How?
I don't know. We'll stall for time and come up with something.
Kids, get the rest off the lunch.
You need some help. Security this office.
All right, get late.
Why don't you?
Think of what I want it to.
You really want to know?
Whoops. Hang on. This is my main laptop. Be right back. I'm going to get something to drink. Okay. I don't know how long this live stream is going to be, but or what it's going to be about, really. I know my hair's a mess. It's been a long day, but I realized quite some time ago that I don't have this channel of mine linked with my other channel, which is Janet Mabius, not Janelle Mabius. And then I see in my, when I went into the section that shows, you know, how many live streams have been done and whatever, the most recent or what have you, I see that it's been like, 6 and 7 months ago since I last did a live stream on this channel. And this is the first time I've disconnected this computer from all the stuff that I had hooked up to it in a really long time. I mean, my keyboard's dusty. My keys are dusty. I'll probably use one of my wipe it things to wipe it down here in a little bit. But I didn't say anything for the first few minutes because I was trying, or a few seconds, because I was trying to figure out, okay, what do I want to make this live stream about? I'm still sorting that out in my head because I don't really know. I don't know, with it getting, this late at night and everything, especially, I don't know how much longer I'm going to be up. I don't know how much longer he's going to be up. There's so much going on. This is kind of just, I guess, my way of trying to play catch up because I haven't done a live stream on this one in so long. But I wanted to do something, going to be spending, and I'm only saying this again on here because this isn't my Janet Mabius account. This is my Janelle account. We're going to be having our first Halloween over at my mom's this year on the 31st. Felicia's going to be there. My Aunt Carol's going to be there. Because my Aunt Carol's recently come back into our lives, and I've been going over and seeing her and trying to visit with her, and hang out, help her in different ways and stuff. But I'm going to be doing a double ritual on the 31st. I'll be doing my Mabon ritual and my Soen ritual. I'm probably going to have to do that live stream early in the day. And I'll have to find a room or something that I can do it in where there's not a bunch of people walking around and talking and, excuse me, being disruptive and distracting, unless they actually want to be in the ritual itself. And I'm pretty sure that it's not going to be a very good idea to try and do the ritual outside, because I already know Jim would throw a fit. So that leaves inside. I'm most likely going to have to do it up in my attic bedroom, which I haven't been up there in a while. So it'll be nice to finally, be up there again. And if my mom says anything, it's like, look, Mom, I'm trying to get a business started. I don't have to tell her I'm upstairs in the attic doing ritual, because most likely she's not going to see the live stream of those rituals anyway. I was just straightening out the computer. So I came back here back into the bedroom to, because I did a live stream on my Chromebook a few minutes ago. But Chris is still out there, Hogan's Heroes is on. He's not really watching it so much as he turns it on for background noise. Which to me is just burning useless, senseless electricity, because if you're not going to watch it, why have it on? You could always turn the radio on or something instead.
You always just ask when you can turn it off.
Yeah. But trying to think of what to talk about, what to live stream about. I don't want this to be a boring live stream. I suppose I could do some card readings or something on here, which they're going to be more mine than anything, because there's nobody on right now but me, and I doubt that any of my subs are going to see that this channel is live right now anyway. But yeah, I don't know what else to do, so let me just run out to the living room and get my cards. Any spirits that wish to manifest yourselves while I'm out there, please feel free to. I put it up because you were going through so many of them. Well, I can give them back to you, but what am I going to do if I need any? I don't even know how many's left. I know there ain't very many left. I'm just going to do one deck because I'm too tired for much else. This is my Green Oracle deck. It's not my. I mean, I bought the deck, but I didn't actually, make it or anything. So to start off, I guess I'll just do a one card, which is usually like a daily message, and kind of, it's a little late in the day probably to do one now. So maybe I'll do like a 3 card instead or something. And if I'm not sure what to ask, a lot of times I'll just do a general. Is there anything about my most recent past, present, or future that I need to know about now? In my past, it's number 5 card, and it says doing better. So that's good. My present is in card 11 and it says the wild. It's got a tiger in the grass, jungle, or whatever. Future, card 13, the life cycle, which it has like multiple, things on there. So let's see. The first card is number 5. This is a fairly new deck, so I don't know it well enough to be able to just look at it and say, "Oh, this is what it's saying." I do try to go by the book when I'm learning a new deck, because I don't want to misinterpret anything. Concept: every day something more, even if only a little. What about the need for energy, light, enthusiasm, trust, and hope? Beginnings shape every journey, and our attitude in the morning is enough to shape the day. Belief, not in something as high and divine, but simply in the fact that today will be a beautiful day, will create wonder, and it will actually change things. Things in the evening was scary and seemed impossible, will feel within our reach on a bright morning. Catch the day, then, but it also means put all of this good energy to use so that it will bear fruit and return more energy and brightness tomorrow. Divinational meanings: when light comes, it's time to do, and when darkness comes, it's time to rest. Start with the right attitude. Every day, take one more step. Trust the good things. When light comes, it's time to do, and when darkness comes, it's time to rest. Start with the right attitude. Every day, take one more step. Trust the good things. And this is the past, so at least it's nothing shocking, or anything. When light comes, it's time to do, and when darkness comes, it's time to rest. Start with the right attitude. Every day, take one more step. Trust the good things. I say it 3 times to maximize that it goes up here and helps me to remember it. Okay, the wild is the present. Concept: nature without man. Image: the powerful jungle with a tiger roaring. Nature is not at the service of mankind. There are still places where nature is untroubled by our presence. This is something to be treasured and protected, because it reminds us of a world more primal, where the million burdens of our society do not exist. Nature is not a gentle world, but it's a world without deception and pretense. It's not a friendly or easy world, and it's not good, but it's also innocent and pristine. That it exists is precious to us, even if we do not partake of it. Divinational meanings. Accept that you and humans are not always at the center of things. Protect and cherish what is pure, innocent, and untouched. Remember that nature is life. Love something by letting it go. And Futures 13, the life cycle. Concept, the cycle. Image, a scheme of a tree getting born, growing, dying, and getting born again. Nature often reminds us about the circularity of things. As human beings, treading life from childhood to elder years, we find a powerful lure to the idea that things are linear. It seems natural to us that there is a beginning and an end, and that a life full of purpose goes straight toward a direction. Maybe we should accommodate more circularity in our thinking, understanding life as cycles, returning, recurring with ebbs and flow, giving perspective to what we do and how meaningful it is. Even the longest, strongest line ultimately is just a part of a circle. Divinational meanings. Accept that things have not an end, but only new stages. Look for the recurring patterns. Do not repeat a new cycle in the same way as the previous one. Do not fear the end of a cycle. Makes sense, you know. Uh Sorry, I'm still not saying a whole lot. Just I guess too much on my mind, you know. And some things that shouldn't probably be talked about during a live stream. Even though I'm the only one on here. But I don't know, like I said, how much longer I'm going to be up. I don't know how much longer Krista's going to be up. Um, but so sometimes I'll try to stop and think, what am I trying to say? Is there certain thing that I feel needs to be said or that I need to get out? How do I word things, so you don't like get things all out of context, I guess is a good way to put it. Um, but let me just say that there is a recent incident that has happened. Um, that is very upsetting to me. Using things, store-bought items, in an appropriate manner. Like, I bought a big, decent-sized box of Alka-Seltzer cold and flu tablets because you put them in you put the 2 tablets in water and dissolve it, stir it up, drink it down. But it's supposed to be used for those of us that have flu-like symptoms. Okay, makes sense, right? And Chris is using them in a way that I don't like because he's going through them too fast, and I can't afford to keep producing them because He's decided to take them out of context because he doesn't have a coughing fit all night that's keeping him up when he's trying to sleep. But that's not what those are supposed to be used for. I did not get those so he could go through them like that, because that's unfair to me. That's money out of my pocket. I can't replace. I don't get my check until the 28th of this month. And the whole thing comes down to struggling, because the cost of living is so bad. And those of us that are lucky enough to have jobs, gas is high. It's like virtually nowhere safe anymore. I'm afraid to even like walk down a public street to go somewhere because I don't want to get in the path of a stray bullet. I don't want to get run over by a car because I'm just walking along on the sidewalk. You'd be surprised how much that's happened here in Columbus, and not that long ago. People getting run over and killed. And it's just more and more innocent lives lost. It seems every second of every minute of every hour of every day of every week, month, year, whatever. So I really need to make some money, and I need to make it fast. And that's why I'm trying to do these resin pieces, which I haven't put a picture of any of them on here yet. So, meaning on this live stream, but this is one of them right here. That's one side of it. That's the other side. Now I know the lighting's bad in here, and this one's like really thin on one side. I've been picking at the notebook paper that sadly got stuck to it, because this was one of the pieces that I was hoping to sell. But when you're working with resin castings, you got to give them, this is a perfect example, you got to give them adequate dry time, and you got to make sure you get those proportions right. Because you have a casting resin and you have a resin hardener. You're supposed to, at first, you put each in a separate container. Like you put the casting resin in one container. You get 3 cups with the one kit that I have, the big kit. That's like $20 with, plus tax and stuff. But you have to mix them separate, and then you mix them in a third container. To mix them together, you add oil ink colors that also come with the kits. You add mica powder, or if you don't want the shimmery look that the mica powder causes, then you don't have to put the mica powder in. You can just strictly work with the oil ink. And some of these pieces that I was so hoping to be able to sell, it's looking like are going to have to be compromised, because I'm currently trying to dig notebook paper off of one. So I can't very well sell it to anybody, because then it looks like shit and it's unprofessional, and I'm not claiming to be professional at this. I just started working with these kits. So I have a long way to go, before I can really start doing the pieces well. You can do coasters with them, sun catchers, which this can be a coaster or a sun catcher. Or if you're feeling so bold, you can hang it from a tree as an ornament. And if they're nice and thin and don't have a whole lot of weight to them, then I don't see the harm in that. You can make jewelry boxes, pendants, keychains. There's a decent amount of stuff you can make with these kits. I won't divulge too much information about them and where I get them and everything and how I found them or whatever, because then everybody's going to be going out and doing it. And then there goes one of my only hope of making any money right now, because neither one of us can work. If me or Chris try to get a job or something, even if it's a part-time job, and we don't immediately turn that information into SSI, they'll cut off our checks. And same with food stamps. We both, our food stamps would be cut off, and our SSI checks would be cut off if either one of us got a job. So that's out. Um, so, all too often I feel like, I'm right back to square one, um, trying to find ways to make money that isn't considered a job in the sense that SSI can start yanking my check and taking money out of my check every month, which I simply can't afford to have them do. Um, so it's very disheartening and discouraging that I I'm still struggling to find that thing that I can do, that like these resin pieces that gives me a creative outlet, helps me make some pocket money just so I can have a little bit more money to live on during the month. And now it's looking like I'm going to have no choice but to get two boxes this time of the Alka-Seltzer Cold and Flu at Sam's Club. That's where I get them. And because you can get a decent size, decent amount there. Um, give one to Chris to use the way he's been going through my entire box, and then have one for myself, so if I'm having issues that can help with, that I don't have to worry about going in to get one of the tablets and they're all gone because he's gone through an entire box in a short period of time. So that's going to be additional money that I don't know that I can really afford right now, because my options are either get two boxes or get one and just don't keep them here, like put them up or take them to mom's or something and have her to hold on to them for me, so when I need them I can get them and don't have to worry about them being gone. So yeah, as you can probably tell, I'm not in my normal cheerful mood that I oftentimes try to be in, when I'm doing a live stream. Uh, but this is also why, I tend to set it for, subs only can view it and not let it make it possible for anybody to view it, because they're going to see this and they'll be like, oh, that's boring, I'm going to switch to something else. Because if it's not blood, guts, and gore, or something disgusting or something, or, people in the world have very weird tastes, and there's nothing saying that it's my job or responsibility to entertain them. Because this piece, as pretty as it is, because it has been compromised, I may have no choice. I may have to go ahead and paint the side white with some of the white paint that came with the big kit. And then I still have this pretty side, which is all glittery. And, I do have some crystals in here. I try to use crystals that have positive properties, protective properties, and stuff like that. Uh, tomorrow, trying to get on a more positive note here. I'm going to be taking my aunt to her bank, and we're hopefully going to be able to find out how much money she has in her account, and hopefully Kay hasn't completely wiped out her account and taken everything out of it, so Carol doesn't have money and can't live. But every way that I can stop her daughter Kay at this point, I am going to do my absolute best to do exactly that and stop her, because Kay has always been mental. She's what some may consider a bad seed. She was just flat out born evil. She's a slut bitch hoe. She just sleeps around with anybody that'll sleep with her. She'll rub on your guy and think that it's perfectly okay to do so, and it's not. So she better never come around me, and especially she better never come around me when Chris is with me and she tries rubbing all over him, because then she's gonna get her ass knocked out. She's gonna get her ass kicked, because I will kick it. I'll be like, bitch, don't be rubbing your fucking nasty ass body and shit all over my boyfriend. You get the fuck out of here. And if Carol did in fact sign Kay as her power of attorney, Chris has already said there's not shit we can do about it. We can't change it. She can't switch and say, oh, I don't want Kay to be my power of attorney anymore. I want my niece Janet to be. A lot of responsibility is being placed on my shoulders, and it's smothering. It's suffocating. I don't like it. But being the compassionate person that I am, I can't see just leaving my aunt high and dry, even though she may deserve everything that Kay is doing to her, including how much Kay has already stolen from her. And I couldn't give you a dollar amount because it's something astronomical, I'm sure. But I guess that's what tends to happen when you're a lousy mother to begin with. Kay needs to be put away. She needs to be put in a nut house. But there's nobody around that has the authority to put her there. Put her in one. She's got to be stopped any way and every way that I possibly can. I don't like a lot of what Carol does. I don't like a lot of what she has said, how she has treated me and used me, and then just basically tells me, oh, you don't need to come around anymore. I'm like, okay, I'll go, but don't ever call me again. Don't ever ask me to come around again, because if you're just going to keep sending me away, then I'm not going to waste my time. She promises, or here recently, she's been promising that she will never send me away again. And if she ever does, I'll be like, Carol, how many times have I told you, if you send me away again, you send me away for a third time, lose my number. I will not come and help you again. I will not be part of your life. I will not come to visit. I won't do anything. I don't appreciate being used, taken for granted, by someone like you, that you kind of deserve a lot of what you're getting right now, because it's your karma, because she lived her life, seems like, more in the bedroom than anywhere else. She's had so many men, I couldn't even tell you how many that she's slept with, and it's just to me, it's a very shallow way to live. It's empty. It may be gratifying when you're doing the naughty with somebody, but when it's empty, and if that's the only reason they're coming around, then to me, drop them like a hot potato and just move on, or get yourself a little toy, to gratify yourself, and then not have to deal with the cruelty of humans and how they tend to use each other and hurt each other and then just cast each other aside when they're done. So I need to. The only thing that I can really think of right now or focus on is getting some more of these kits and getting a significant amount, decent amount, not too much, but decent amount of these pieces constructed, um, and find a way to advertise them, which most likely I'll probably end up doing it on here, because trying to pay somebody to advertise, that's where that's where stuff can start getting pricey, like really quick. Um, so as much of the stuff as I can do on my own without any help from anybody else, I'm going to do, because I can't afford to do otherwise. And I really got to watch what I say, because I don't know if he's in the living room and he can hear me, and I don't, the last thing I want tonight before we go to bed is, I don't want to go to bed, you know, in an argumentative attitude. And I certainly don't want to get into an argument or fight with him, that considering he's nearly wiped out my entire box of Alka-Seltzer cold and flu, then the least he can do is let me keep the remaining ones, because I might need them some night, because it is still flu season. I did not get a flu shot. He did, but I didn't. I've already been sick once, but I was lucky. It was only a couple of days, and then it was out of my system. But I'm tired of being broke, and tired of not being able to afford to live. And him and his habits, mannerisms, and ways of doing things that I don't like. We don't communicate properly with one another. We've been together 15 years, and to me, it's more a toxic relationship than anything. It's not a relationship full of love and compassion and understanding and patience and kindness and proper communication. And to me, it is it feels empty and meaningless. Tired of living here, but Chris is wanting to move far away, somewhere like West Virginia or something, and it's another struggle that I fight with every day, that I don't like moving that far away from my mom. So I wonder things like, how far would he be willing to go, and how would he be willing to compromise so that everybody gets what they want? That, okay, we can still move into the country somewhere, but I don't want to have to drive 4 hours to get to my mom's house. And my burden in life has been the endless responsibility that seems to be piled onto my shoulders every time I turn around. And I've got to stop spreading myself so thin to please others and start doing more for myself. Thus, why I'm trying to find a way to make some money that SSI can't take away from me, because I won't be making such a large amount that they start yanking it out of my check, or, take my check away altogether. I'm not happy, and the only way that I'm going to be happy is if I make myself happy, because he's never going to do anything. I'm not saying he doesn't do stuff. He does. He does plenty. He does a lot. And I have been trying to make up for how little I do. And I can't say this enough. I wish I had my own place. Whether it's an apartment somewhere close to where I'm living with him, that I can turn into an office, a place of business, um, that I would never want him coming to, because I don't want him filling it with his negative repressive energy that he doesn't seem to realize, care, or know that he has. I need my space, and I need some time to myself, and I would like to have a place just for me that I would live at part of the time, and then the other part of the time I would be continue living with him and our 4 cats. And it's looking like that tally, that amount just went up to 9, because Maria's moving with us. And she has 4 cats, and we have another outdoor cat that we call Pretty Girl, that's got no home, no family. Chris has been trying to nurse her back to health, and she seems to be doing better and everything, but he wants to bring her in here, and that ain't happening, because we're struggling as it is with the 4 cats that we have, and I'm not going to put our cats through it, because there's already enough stress in this place without adding to it. And she's not as strong as our other cats, and my biggest concern would be that Carmela and Kalika would be the less likely to welcome her, and they would bully her and attack her, and maybe even she's frail enough and old enough that I'm afraid Kalika could actually kill her, because Kalika sharing this place with the 2 boy cats that we have as it is. So the compromise that I came up with, I think, is fair. If she's still around, if Pretty Curl is still around when we move and she's still alive and everything, and then we can take her with us, because she looks, you can tell by looking at her that she's pretty old. So don't know how many more years she's going to have before she's going to die, probably anyway. And I want whatever time she has left, and I'm sure Chris feels the same way, we want her to have a loving home, a loving family, so that when she does die, she can kind of die somewhat happy and at peace, that at least some kind humans took her in and loved her and cherished her and appreciated her as long as they could before it was her time to pass. But, I've been on here 46 minutes, and I guess I'm going to go ahead and close out for now. And hopefully the next time I do a live stream on this channel, because I am going to be alternating between the 2 channels. And if I can find a way to link this channel or account to my other one, so that I can switch between the 2 accounts on one computer and not have to use a totally separate computer for each account like I'm doing now, then I will. But until that time, I guess I'm just going to have to do things exactly the way I'm doing them. When I want to do my Janelle account, I'll do it on this computer. When I want to do my Janet Mabius account, I'll do it on my Chromebook. Found my 2-in-1, my 2-in-1 computer today. I was looking, I was cleaning, I was looking for something. And usually when I'm looking for one thing, I find many. So I was able to find my 2-in-1, and now I just got to figure out I got to get into it, reset the PIN, reset the password, and I'm going to have to use either this computer or my Chromebook to do it. And I may have to use my password that I use to activate this computer, or may be the one that I have to use in my 2-in-1, because it says Microsoft account. And I believe this computer is Microsoft account. So I will try that, certainly, and hopefully it'll work. So I say in conclusion, God and Goddess, spirits about me, please help me come up with a suitable compromise with Chris that don't turn into an argument that we both end up going to bed angry. I need some money to be able to get another box of the Alka-Seltzer cold and flu, and then just let him have what's left of the box that he's already pretty much gone through anyway. I know I don't have as many followers on this channel, but at least I have the satisfaction of knowing that I have 15 currently. Whoa. On my Janet Mabius account, and I'm getting whitewashed here. So this is Janelle signing off. Until next time, blessed be.